As Election Day approaches, the pandemic is having an impact on how and where college students are registering to vote. CBSN political reporter Caitlin Huey-Burns reports on some of the obstacles facing the youngest eligible voters.
This campus would be at least 3 times busier, and there would be events on every corner of the campus. There's nothing going on here now, it's just classes.
College quads, like this one in the key battleground of Ohio, would ordinarily be fertile ground for get-out-the-vote efforts. But as the coronavirus pandemic keeps students away from their campuses, it could also keep them away from their voting locations.
College students have a legal right to vote either near campus or back at their parents' address. But in order to vote near campus, they have to somehow prove that they're enrolled, that they're living nearby.
Nancy Thomas is the director of the Institute for Democracy and Higher Education at Tufts University, whose research shows that students registered away from campus turn out at lower rates. And this year, there is uncertainty about where students will be on Election Day.
You have to remember that voting is an act of togetherness. It's a very social act. Students vote because their friends vote.
Registration among 18 to 24-year-olds is up from the last election in key states like Michigan, North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, but it's down in others like Ohio and Pennsylvania. And registration among 18 to 19-year-olds nationally is below 2016 levels.
College as a population is going to be more informed than the general populace. Barriers are going to be probably voter registration. Young people generally don't know what they need to do until they're told they didn't do it.
But that doesn't mean they are apathetic about voting.
Show of hands, how many of you are voting in the November election? Everybody. What do you think people underestimate or don't know enough about your generation?
I don't think they expect us to come out and vote, but I think that given the coronavirus, us being in quarantine and seeing how everything panned out, there was a lot more attention on our officials. Just being more informed, people are going to be more comfortable to go out and vote.
I think what we need now is just to empower this generation, Generation Z, to let them know that their vote counts, that their voices are important.
Generation Z now makes up for 10% of eligible voters, and many of them will be casting ballots in their first presidential election.
I think it's kind of exciting as someone who grew up with all my parents, and I have 3 older siblings who have all voted already.
I definitely feel like we're more able to speak up about issues that have been talked about, but there's really been no change in the past. So I think we're very motivated to see that change.
What should we know about this group?
We should know that they're activists. We should know that they want to talk issues. This generation is extremely diverse. The vote share of white students on college campuses is getting lower, and the vote share of students of color is getting higher.
They are also on track to be the most educated generation and are unafraid to speak their minds.
Donald Trump. Yes, Trump 2020. I like his policies. The past 4 years, he's done a great job.
Currently, I am supporting Donald Trump. My top issues are immigration and the economy. I'm in college, so I need to be getting a job here in the next few years.
Anybody voting for Biden? How much of that is a vote for Joe Biden and how much of it is a vote against the current president, Donald Trump?
Majority of it would be a vote against Trump, just because I don't like who he represents. But I also see a better future or more hope with Joe Biden.
We need a leader who believes in the dignity of all people and the right of all people to participate in the country and the world that we want to create.
Are you concerned that maybe some of your friends or fellow classmates may not vote in this election?
I am concerned. I think there's been some very targeted campaigns at young people, whether it's through weird Facebook ads or even just news stories that kind of highlight young people and cast them in this light as if we don't care about the things that matter. And I know that my peers do. I'm also hopeful that people are going to understand how important this election is.